Welcome to a new video and a new camera comparison between the Ultra flagships of Honor. Honor is back, the Magic 4 Ultimate is out now, and we have the predecessor, the Magic 3 Pro Plus. Which one is the winner here in terms of cameras? Let's get started. So let's check out those cameras. First, the Magic 4 Ultimate with its super large 1-inch sized sensor, almost 1-inch sized sensor, 1/1.2, 1/1.12 inch size, so almost 1-inch size. And we have which is 50 megapixels. We have then 64 megapixels ultra wide angle, 64 megapixel periscope zoom, and we have a 50 megapixel ultra spectrum sensor, which is super interesting. And on the Magic 3 Pro Plus we have also a very large sensor, 50 megapixel 1/1.23 sized sensor. Then we have a 64 megapixel ultra wide angle, we have a 64 megapixel periscope zoom camera, and we have a 64 megapixel monochrome sensor as well on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. Then let's talk about the front. Here in this pill-shaped cutout we have a 13 megapixel 100-degree field of view camera, and we have a little bit more, I think, here on the Magic 4 Ultimate, 12 megapixels in this case, and a little bit of larger sensor, and you can see the 3D face unlock here and here as well. So I think we will start with the front-facing videos, so let's check them out. So which one is better? Front-facing camera and 4K 30 on both, and I think it's a little bit brighter on the Magic 4 Ultimate than on the Magic 3 Pro Plus, but in general it's basically the same kind of camera setup without much of a difference. The main cam on the Magic 3 Pro Plus is also a very good main camera, but the background blur is not as pronounced as on the Magic 4 Ultimate, but you can focus a little bit closer with the main cam, I think. And yeah, the main cam is pretty good, and if this would be released in Europe, I would say if it is cheaper than the Magic 4 Ultimate, if you don't need the large sensor, this one might be a very good device. Now the main cam on the Magic 4 Ultimate, using the internal microphones, 4K 30 frames per second, I think you get a nicer background blur. Maybe my face is also exposed a little bit better, and yeah, overall I think I like the Magic 4 Ultimate's camera for video recording much more than the Magic 3 Pro Plus. Close focusing distance on the main camera. Let's see and try. I think you can get pretty close, but at one point it's too close and it cannot really focus with the main camera. And now recording with the Magic 3 Pro Plus, ultra wide angle, 4K 30 frames per second, highres stabilization, the high dynamic range, colors, and so on. And now the Magic 4 Ultimate, highres stabilization here, also using the internal microphone, 4K 30 frames per second. How wide it is, I think, is the same width as the Magic 3 Pro Plus. Also, how close can I get with this? I think pretty close. What do you think about this one here? Here are the photos. On the left always the Magic 4 Ultimate, on the right the Magic 3 Pro Plus, and you really have to pixel peep, otherwise you will not notice much of a difference. Like in this shot, good HDR, no issues at all with overexposing the grass here, the green grass. You can see a little bit more of sharpening going on the Magic 3 Pro Plus that is applied here. And you will see it throughout all the photos that there's a little bit more post-processing happening on the Magic 3 Pro Plus, and it's a bit tuned down on the Magic 4 Ultimate, which I really like. So the next shot, again, you can see lots of HDR applied, good HDR, everything nice and sharp with the main lens, no issues at all, everything readable. You don't notice much of a difference. The only thing that you might notice is, because it's with the main lens, and the main lens has a larger aperture and a larger sensor on the Magic 4 Ultimate, that you get a bit of a boost in colors. It's a bit brighter here on the Magic 4 Ultimate, especially the building. You can see that the Magic 3 Pro Plus is a bit darker, but this is pretty much everything that you can see in this shot. There's a 3.5 times shot, and here you can see a major difference, I would say. Not on first glance, but if you pixel peep, you have everything nice and sharp. On the Magic 3 Pro Plus, a little bit hazy, some unsharpness going on, like some sharpness or the focus was not completely applied. And this is what I noticed immediately on the 3.5 times zoom, that the Magic 4 Ultimate does a better job here than the Magic 3 Pro Plus. Not in every aspect, because this is now an extreme aspect, but in certain scenarios. Then we have a major difference with the ultra-wide angle. On paper, they have the same ultra-wide angle, basically 64 megapixels. I think a slightly bit larger sensor, maybe on the Magic 4 Ultimate, maybe even the same sensor. But in automatic mode, if you have AI enabled, I had AI enabled on both, the Magic 3 Pro Plus chose to use the full 11 millimeters, where the Magic 4 Ultimate goes to, what is it here, 14 millimeters or 15 millimeters? Let's check it out, 15 millimeters. So this is a change in the automatic mode, where the Magic 4 Ultimate not always tends to use the full 11 millimeters for distortion correction and so on, probably also depending on the scene. It is cropping in sometimes a little bit if you have an AI enabled, and this is what you can see. So a more dramatic picture on the Magic 3 Pro Plus because it's more ultra wide, but if I zoom in, you can also see lots of sharpening applied here. It doesn't look natural at all. And the Magic 4 Ultimate, a little bit cropped in, not so much sharpening applied, looks a bit more natural. Especially here, if you take a look at the background, for example, lots of sharpening applied. You can see it at the persons here. You can see it, yeah, here on this line, on this rail, where this on the Magic 4 Ultimate just looks more natural. And more natural are also the colors, where the Magic 3 Pro Plus is exaggerating the colors, especially the blue sky here. As you can see, a very, very blue. The Magic 4 Ultimate is not doing this. Is much, much closer to the 1-inch sized main sensor, almost 1-inch sized main sensor that we see here in this photo. So you can see here, not much of a difference in terms of the color of the sky. Maybe slightly bit different hue here. But if I go here, you can see these skies are much, much closer, but this and this is much further apart than this and this, where this just simply looks like a crop on the Magic 4 Ultimate. So when it comes to the main sensors, like I said already, you can see here in the greens a little bit brighter on the Magic 4 Ultimate, probably to the larger aperture and the larger sensor. When it comes to sharpness in daylight photos, you don't notice much of a difference. There's a little bit more processing, I think, on the Magic 3 Pro Plus, so it's having a little bit more sharpness applied, which I don't like in particular, I have to say, because it makes it a little bit more artificial looking, where the Magic 4 Ultimate is not tending to do such thing, though it is also having sharpness and sharpening applied. There we still have this guy walking by. Let's go to this bush. And yeah, you can see sharpness applied here on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. Not so much sharpness applied on the Magic 4 Ultimate. And of course, the focus points are a little bit different. The depth of field is a little bit different because of the slightly larger sensor on the Magic 4 Ultimate in comparison to the Magic 3 Pro Plus. This very interesting here. Someone really put this in here, put the effort in here to do this to this tree, or the rest of the tree here. And when it comes to this, maybe a bit of more contrasty on the Magic 3 Pro Plus, but it's so close that it's basically identical, not much of a difference. It becomes very interesting. Again, zoom lens, this is now, let me don't lie, 10 times zoom. And 10 times zoom, you can see there is a difference here, slightly, but it's not very obvious who's sharper. You can see this boat was moving, also the ship was moving. Of course, this was a bit further away and this was a bit closer, and you can see there's a bit more processing going on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. There's a bit less processing going on. Both struggle here with the 10 times zoom. It's not a good shot on both of them. This one is a lot better, at least it looks like, and this one was taken with 7 times zoom, which is interesting here because the Magic 4 Ultimate, instead of offering the 10 times zoom directly to zoom in via a button, it has now a 7 times zoom button instead of 10 times like on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. So I took a 7 times zoom shot, and I have to say, yeah, the Magic 4 Ultimate is superior in this. Here, for example, look at this, readable here, the sign on the Magic 4 Ultimate, not readable. So the Magic 3 Pro Plus struggles a bit with focusing here again, and even after the second shot I nailed it, and then it's a lot better. It was closer by, but still I think it's a little bit more sharp and a little more clear on the Magic 4 Ultimate. So zoom lens, especially the 7x zoom, looks a bit better on the Magic 4 Ultimate. Even if I zoom in a little bit here, yeah, okay, there's heavy sharpening applied, not so much heavy sharpening applied on the Magic 4 Ultimate. So I think in the zoom lenses, very close by, but the Magic 4 Ultimate with a slight edge to the Magic 3 Pro Plus. It can be the other way around here, 7x zoom again, where the Magic 3 Pro Plus is doing a way better job than the Magic 4 Ultimate. So it is head to head, neck to neck, and most of the time I had more luck with the Magic 4 Ultimate, but yeah, they are very, very close. And this is 100x zoom, just to show you it's basically unusable. It's very hard to shoot a moving target, and you can see this might be a car and this is a flag, and this is probably the back of this ship. It's basically, yeah, unusable, such things. Maybe it might be something interesting for the Google are you human kind of algorithm to figure out what this is here. Anyway, when it comes to the main camera sensor, the shooting ability, you can get a bit closer with the Magic 3 Pro Plus, still get things nice and sharp because it has a smaller aperture, smaller sensor size. You get nice creamy bokeh, nice details here as well, but the Magic 4 Ultimate nails it a bit more. Here, of course, the focus point was slightly different. It was on this here. Here I had to step a bit back to get everything nice in focus, but you can see the focus is a little bit more busy on the Magic 3 Pro Plus and a bit more creamy on the Magic 4 Ultimate, just simply physics. You can get wonderful bokeh shots with both of them because they have very large main sensors. This is now a 5x zoom shot here on both, and yeah, what do you see here? Maybe a little bit more punchy color on the Magic 3 Pro Plus, but you really have to pixel peep, otherwise you don't notice much of a difference. So let's pixel peep here. What you can see here is a little bit more detail on the Magic 4 Ultimate, on this sign that you can see here. There's a little sticker on this sign as well. I think it's a bit better exposed on the Magic 4 Ultimate than on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. And again, a little bit more, yeah, grain that you can see, a dirt on the sign that you don't see on the Magic 3 Pro Plus so much. When you take a look at this figure here as well, you can see a little bit more spots here and uneven spots and so on that is just smeared away. Just here, for example, this little dip here, dent, where the color is missing, it's just smeared away by the Magic 3 Pro Plus, where the Magic 4 Ultimate keeps this detail. I'm not sure where this detail is coming. The Magic 3 Pro Plus has a monochrome lens that it uses, and the Magic 4 Ultimate is using the ultra spectrum camera. Maybe the ultra spectrum camera can keep a little bit more detail here. And yeah, this is this. Then we go to this shot here to show you both basically the same when the main sensor is on in daylight, not much of a difference. Here's interestingly enough, the Magic 4 Ultimate, both were like handheld in the same position, basically right next to each other when I was taking the shot. Has a little more exaggerated sky color here, where the Magic 3 Pro Plus has a little bit toned down. As you can see, the blue is a little bit more blue here. And yeah, which one is more realistic for you? I was at the scene, and I have to say, I think the Magic 3 Pro Plus may be a little bit more realistic than the Magic. So close, and the sun was shining. Hard to tell. 100x zoom on a static object, very hard to shoot. Like I said, you need to have here the Magic 3 Pro Plus looks like doing a better job, but if you go to 100%, it's just like, yeah, unusable at all. So it's very hard to shoot this. It was a huge building that I showed you, I think in this one shot here in the background. You can see this black building, and I was zooming into it with the 100x zoom shot to show you one balcony here. And it's super hard to find the right balcony because I had to, of course, cannot do this with a tripod. I want to do it handheld to show you how this looks like. And yeah, don't use the 100x zoom, and there's not much of a difference in the 100 times zoom range. 7 times, 10 times, yeah, Magic 4 Ultimate slightly better, but that's it. When it comes to close-up shots with the main lens, both do a good job. You can see here I have to go a little bit further. Well, I went a bit further with the Magic 3 Pro Plus, but the Magic 4 Ultimate usually I have to go a bit further away to get things nice and sharp, but here in this case both do a good job. Not much of a difference, I have to say. I was a bit further away here on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. This is why more is in focus, but also because of the smaller sensor size. Then when you have automatic mode enabled, it automatically switches to the ultra wide angle for taking the macro shot on the Magic 4 Ultimate. On the Magic 3 Pro Plus, you have to go into the super macro mode manually, because for some reason it did not switch to the did not want to switch, where the Magic 4 Ultimate was directly immediately switching. What you can see here as well is, are they using a different ultra wide angle? No, it's basically 11 millimeters. But if you go to the Magic 3 Pro Plus, this ultra wide angle, or not ultra wide angle, to the macro, super macro shot, it uses the full 11 millimeters for the macro shot. So yeah, this is what you get. It's not really sharp. On the Magic 4 Ultimate, it automatically switches, but what you can see as well, and I go into in the details, 25 millimeters. So what it does is 27 is the normal focal length of the camera, and to 25 that means like it is using the ultra wide angle but cropping in. So it almost looks like it's using the main sensor, and it fooled me already once, but now it doesn't, because I know I have to deactivate the AI mode, then I don't have the switching issue. But you can see it's not really sharp, it's a bit unsharp. This looks nice, but yeah. What you can do, of course, is also here now we are at 26 millimeter. Use the super macro mode manually. I enabled it on the Magic 4 Ultimate, and then it's using 26 millimeter for some reason, but also maybe a little bit sharper than before. And here the Magic 3 Pro Plus, of course, a different angle. Try to make it sharp. It's very hard to get all the detail here. It's, I think, for the megapixel count and so on, it's on the good side in terms of macro mode, but in terms of getting things sharp, I really would want a little bit more here on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. And the Magic 4 Ultimate has this. It tries to do it, but it's not the best, because you have such an ultra wide angle that even if you have the megapixel count, you cannot get things a little bit better. So this is now at 11 millimeters, because when you go to super macro mode, you can choose between the normal, which is 26 millimeter. You can go to the ultra wide angle, which is 11 millimeter then. So the same as on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. You can see, you can compare. And here I think the Magic 4 Ultimate does a better job in this mode, where it's a ton more sharper and you can get things more in focus than on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. For some reason, same distance, same 11 millimeters as you can see here. And yeah, then we have also a zoom shot, so we can zoom in. As you can see here, this is now 51 millimeters, so it's basically doing another crop on the ultra wide angle, which of course the quality suffers. You get a bit more closer up, but the quality suffers, and you can see it here when I zoom into 100%. Yeah, you can see some details. I think the Magic 4 Ultimate does a better job here in terms of close-up, but just tell me what you think about it. It has just more flexibility when it comes to this. Nighttime shots, complete darkness here. Very interesting shot. What we can see here, Magic 4 Ultimate, Magic 3 Pro Plus, basically the same. There's a bit more noise on the Magic 4 3 Pro Plus, as you can see. And there's a little bit less more noise on the Magic 4 Ultimate, both in AI automatic mode, so they can brighten things up. I think both did a good job here. It's more smooth on the Magic 4 Ultimate, less details, a little bit more details, but a lot more noise on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. When we go to the night mode, the extra night mode, you can see the colors are corrected on the Magic 4 Ultimate. This is something that I had already as a critique on the Magic 3 Pro Plus, that the color here of this little board here is this pink as on the Magic 4 Ultimate and not this red. So the colors are corrected in night mode on the Magic 4 Ultimate, which is a welcome surprise. I think also the quality here is better, but you see there's a noise creeping in and some issues here as well, but it's a bit more detailed on the Magic 4 Ultimate, definitely because the main sensor is a larger sensor, can provide a little bit better photos here in total darkness, as you can see here, but it's very, very close, and I'm just hoping that the Magic 3 Pro Plus will get the update to have the colors fixed as well. When you get a little bit more light, so you have a dim lit situation, a complete darkness, then you can see also the difference in terms of aperture and sensor size. Again, a little bit darker exposure on the Magic 3 Pro Plus, a bit lighter exposure on the Magic 4 Ultimate. The Magic 4 Ultimate does by default, also in night mode, not add so much post-processing. So sharpness, for example, you can see here that it is natural sharp, and on the Magic 3 Pro Plus you can see sharpening applied. Heavy, not heavy, yeah, maybe you can see a little bit like ghosting around those letters here, where you clearly see, okay, they have some kind of sharpening applied here, and you can see it also here with those letters. There's a little bit more details, a little bit more natural looking text here on the Magic 4 Ultimate, and here the Magic 3 Pro Plus had to do some computational work. You can see it here. There's a slight white outline on this zeros here of the 600 milliliters, which you don't have on the Magic 4 Ultimate. So really have to pixel peep here. Also the background, you can see a little bit more brighten up than on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. Very, very close. Let's go to selfies. Selfies basically identical. As you can see here, HDR working fine as well. But when you take a look at a little bit closer, you can see, first of all, sharpness. Yeah, it's basically the same. Not much of a difference here. And I think it's even the same sensor, maybe a little bit of a difference in terms of processing, but HDR seems to be a little bit better on the Magic 4 Ultimate. As you can see in my hand, better exposed, a little bit overexposed, some details missing, but we have a bit more noise creeping in on the Magic 4 Ultimate. Let's check it in the corners here, for example. You can see there's a lot more noise on the Magic 4 Ultimate. It tends to produce a little bit more detailed picture, but of the cost is the noise that you can see here. And the Magic 3 Pro Plus is trying to get rid of the noise, smoothing things out a little bit. So this is the selfie cam. Then I took portrait cam, tried the 3.5mm, and again I had the issue with the Magic 3 Pro Plus, even for the portrait. Not in portrait mode, by the way, just the 3.5 times zoom lens for portraits, just if you want to just photograph a person. The Magic 3 Ultimate nails it directly because, yeah, everything's nice and sharp. The Magic 3 Pro Plus has this issue again with sometimes just not focusing or just simply smearing and it's not sharp. And this was now on the tripod. So I set a self timer on the tripod. Self timer means like even if I induced some shake, after 5 seconds, the shake should be over on the tripod, and then it should create and produce a nice sharp shot. And it didn't on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. This is what I saw here. I redid the shot with the Magic 3 Pro Plus. Now it's sharp, but you can see a lot differences here. First of all, sharpness again, a lot more details. Just look at my eyebrows here. It's just simply, you can see the little hairs. Here you don't see the hairs, it's just like one big blob. Look at my face. I look a bit yellowish for some kind on the Magic 3 Pro Plus, and I look more natural on the Magic 4 Ultimate. When it comes to details like some impurity on my skin and some skin lines here as well, you can see it. You don't see it here on the Magic 3 Pro Plus because the detail is missing. And yeah, again, a little bit too yellowish, double chin, yes, I know. And when it comes to like the shirt here, I think as well, you have a little bit like more contrast or more darker look on the Magic 4 Ultimate, more realistic colors, a little bit brighten up here for some reason on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. So the Magic 3 Pro Plus fails in this regard. Now let's take a look at real portrait shots, or not real portrait shots, the portrait mode that I used here, which is not using the 3.5 times zoom lens, but it's using the main lens and just crops in 2 times. And I think it's 2 times 50mm roughly, yeah? Yeah, 54 and 54, so it's the same. And here you can see basically the same, but if you zoom in, you can see processing changed a little bit. First of all, Again, sharpness is interesting enough. It's a bit closer now in terms of sharpness, but I think there's still a little bit more sharpness on the Magic 4 Ultimate, more details on the Magic 4 Ultimate, a little bit more post-processing on the Magic 3 Pro Plus regarding my eyebrows, for example, and again, a bit yellowish face, a bit more natural face on the Magic 4 Ultimate. When we take a look at the portrait mode, the bokeh, here my left ear is cut, here it isn't. The right ear is cut on both. I think more dramatic on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. Yeah, it's smoothing the skin on the Magic 4 Ultimate a bit, where the Magic 3 Pro Plus tends to keep this impurities a little bit more, but because it's, yeah, some kind of algorithm is going there, sharpening everything up for some reason, making it a little bit unpleasant to look. I look like a robot there, like a painting. And on the Magic 4 Ultimate, even it has the skin smoothing applied, it is a little bit, yeah, less aggressive when it comes to this. And it's pretty interesting. There's a default setting on both. I didn't change those settings because I never dealt with the bokeh or the portrait mode before. So I think they have some beauty filter enabled by default that, let me check just quickly on the portrait mode if there's a beauty filter enabled. No, the beauty filter on the Magic 4 Ultimate was disabled, and the beauty filter on the Magic 3 Pro Plus was also disabled. So they still have some, even if it is disabled, I think they are applying a little bit of beauty filter on the Magic 4 Ultimate, where the Magic 3 Pro Plus is applying the ugly filter. Anyway, this is the portrait mode, and then we come to another shot which is pretty interesting because the Magic 3 Pro Plus has an 64 megapixel, how they call it, AI mode for high-res mode. So they have a 64 megapixel fusion high-res mode. This is how they call it, because there's a 64 megapixel monochrome sensor and a 50 megapixel main sensor, and it has this fusion kind of option, where the Magic 4 Ultimate just has the high-res mode with the 50 megapixels. Nothing else that you can choose here, at least in this firmware version that I had. I got an update just today when I was recording this here, and I saw that they added now in the high-res mode the option to use the ultra wide angle and the 3.5 tele for the high-res mode, so 64 megapixel both as well. Maybe one day I will test this out as well. Otherwise, the Magic 3 Pro Plus, let's zoom in, and let's zoom in here. So keep in mind 50 megapixel Magic 4 Ultimate and this AI Magic 3 Pro Plus stuff here, crap, I would say, because it is really crappy. Where you might see, okay, there's a little bit more detail on the Magic 3 Pro Plus, but it's not coming from big AI improvements by fusing together stuff. It's just simply heavily sharpening applied here. I don't think it's adding a little bit more details here and there. I'm not so sure about this. It has AI applied, so it is also doing HDR. You can see the sky here that is reflecting in this window, in this mirror, in this window, is not overblown, where the Magic 4 Ultimate does not do this. So this is a difference here, but there's heavily sharpening applied here, and it doesn't look pleasant, especially look at this here, where the Magic 4 Ultimate looks natural. This looks just look at the sign, as the characters here. It's so fake, it's so processed. This is just almost unusable. So let's go back to the 50 megapixel on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. You can see not much changed here. Maybe you can see that the Magic 3 Pro Plus is also applying HDR, which the Magic 4 Ultimate is not doing. And we get a bit of a brighter picture where we have a bit more crushed shadows on the Magic 4 Ultimate. But in terms of sharpness now, let's take a look here. It is on par. It is maybe slightly a bit sharper on the Magic 4 Ultimate, more details on the Magic 4 Ultimate. It has the larger sensor, has to do it. And when you take a look at the cars and the details here, yeah, the HDR is working a little bit. You can see some noise creeping in on the Magic 3 Pro Plus already, where the Magic 4 Ultimate is a bit cleaner, but this is really on par. And I think, yes, the Magic 4 Ultimate in high-res shot creates the better shots. Magic 3 Pro Plus is not far apart from this. Keep away from the Magic 3 Pro Plus's AI stuff, it's just crappy. Then if you don't like the crappy kind of, crappy, some people say it's crappy, other people don't say it's crappy, but the normal shot. Now I have a normal shot. This is like the pixel binned normal shot. It was a bit rainy here, but just to see, do we see a difference in terms of colors and so on. So red color, I think slightly more punchy on the red, the Magic Ultimate, and the 3 Pro Plus, a little bit, the color tone is I think wrong. Let's take a look at the other car. Yeah, this is a bit more dark here, and this is a bit more to brighten up. And here the green grass, a bit more punchy, a little bit cooler on the Magic 3 Pro Plus, a bit warmer on the Magic 4 Ultimate in general, I would say. And this is the normal photo that you will take pixel binned with AI mode enabled. I know that some people don't like it, even if it's such a good sensor, but all the AI stuff, all the sharpening, all the pushing of colors and punching the colors into your face is not what everyone likes. This is why some people tend to go to Sony Xperias and they have more natural colors. But on Honor, you can also get more natural colors. And this is a pro tip, only one short little demonstration here. Just go to the Pro mode. And this is with Pro mode, this is with Pro mode. What you can see here, much more natural colors. The Magic 4 Ultimate, interestingly enough, exposing a little bit darker than the Magic 3 Pro Plus at the same situation here, which is interesting. But you can see the dramatic difference in terms of colors. First of all, here, Magic 3 Pro Plus, you can see a lot less sharpening, lot less contrast added, far superior photo, I would say, far more natural photo, and even more on the Magic 4 Ultimate, where this yellowish kind of tint is going away, and you will get like more natural colors. A bit darker because it was a gloomy day, it was raining there, and the color of the cars, the Magic 4 Ultimate is more correct. The Magic 3 Pro Plus is a bit overexposed, I would say, or is a bit brightened up, but has also nailed the color of the car, This Magic 4 Ultimate nailed the color really good. Sharpness is good. It is not over sharpening. Everything looks a bit more natural. Here in the back, you can see it is a little bit too bright on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. This is the only downfall that we have there. But the Magic 4 Ultimate, it's really good. And for those people who don't like, let's look at the trash can, who don't like this over-processed kind of images, you can get natural images with Honor's Magic line up as well. Just look at the green grass, just a little bit dark on the Magic 4 Ultimate, but it's okay. Let's take a look here. You can see over-processed grass, brightened up and sharpening up, and everything here, as you can see here on this license plate as well. And let's take a look at the more natural color, and not so much over sharpening going on, and super natural. So you can get natural shots as well with Honor Magics in Pro mode. And overall, the Magic 4 Ultimate is doing a better job than the Magic 3 Pro Plus, but it's really close. And the main advantage you have is in night mode and in the 3.5 times zoom, up to 7 times zoom, because it nails the focus a little better on the Magic 4 Ultimate. So now we have a zoom test on the Magic 4 Ultimate. This is the ultra wide angle, and I can slowly zoom in. This is now 1 times now, and I can slowly zoom in. Roughly at 4 times it would switch, 4.6 times it switches the sensor to the 3.5 times optical zoom, and I can zoom in up to 10 times, and here you can see the result. You can see like a boat, ship going on. Stabilization is pretty damn awesome. I'm not moving, however, just holding it still with my hands, and I can see some details there as well. I can even brighten it up a little bit, and yeah, I can see cars passing by on the bridge, which is pretty nice. So I think good details on the Magic 4 Ultimate. Now zoom test on the Magic 3 Pro Plus, and this is the wide angle, and I can zoom in a little bit. This is now 1x, you saw it switching camera lenses, and I can zoom in further, and roughly at 4.6x it switches to the 3.5x optical zoom, and then I can turn this up to 10x, and here you can see the 10x, which is still pretty stable here, I would say. And you can see some cars passing by. I can make it a little bit lighter, and you can see the church, you can see some cars passing by on the bridge. I think it's a very good zoom camera, up to 10x in video mode as well, 4K 30. What do you think? On the Magic 3 Pro Plus and the Magic 4 Ultimate in Pro mode, you have the option to choose a pure LUT instead of using all the movie LUTs that are available also in movie mode. And this one looks a little bit more realistic, has not so much punchy colors, more realistic colors in general, and you can record in whatever you want. You can even set your shutter speed to a fixed value or ISO to a fixed value, which is pretty damn awesome. So I like it very much. This is a Magic 3 Pro Plus I'm recording here with right now, and we switch now to the Magic 4 Ultimate to see how this behaves. This is now the pure LUT on the Honor Magic 4 Ultimate using the Pro mode here in video, which is quite nice. And I think this one is the one for those people who don't like so much punchy colors in the video, who like more natural colors. With this LUT you get it on the Magic 4 Ultimate and the Magic 3 Pro Plus. Which one is handling it better? I think the Magic 4 Ultimate needs a little bit of software tweaking here and there. I saw it overexposing in this LUT in certain occasions. This might be due to the slightly larger sensor that captures more light and then needs to regulate a little bit down, where the Magic 3 Pro Plus is a little bit more optimized thanks to software updates. The Magic 4 Ultimate needs a little bit tweaks here and there still to get it right. So what do you think about this? So we saw both of them now in photography and videography. Lots and lots of stuff there, lots and lots of good stuff that I saw. And overall, who is the clear winner? I think it is the Magic 4 Ultimate, but not by a huge margin. The Magic 3 Pro Plus is already good, and where the Magic 3 Pro Plus was very good, the Magic 4 Ultimate is just slightly improving. So I think that the zoom camera here and there is a little bit better on the Magic 4 Ultimate. Definitely the main sensor, thanks to its larger aperture and also larger size, captures more light, is better in low light, is better overall also for photography. And I think the solution on the Magic 4 Ultimate regarding the close-up shots, macro shots, is a little bit more intelligent than on the Magic 3 Pro Plus. On the other hand, the Magic 3 Pro Plus has a little bit more tweaking here and there in regards to camera specific things, where the Magic 4 Ultimate needs a little bit of more tweaking and a little bit more of fine-tuning to get the best out of this camera system. Both have a very good camera system, and with neither you getting a bad phone. Both are very capable, and I think the Magic 4 Ultimate is amongst the top 3 phones in terms of cameras right now, and the Magic 3 Pro Plus is among the top 5 phones. So it is really a close race here between those two. What do you think? Write it down in the comment section. This is everything for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Until the next time. Bye.